God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was, oh, hello. What was that? Oh, you enjoy my festive singing. You're too kind. I do pride myself on my merriment. In fact, some have even gone as far to say that no one keeps Christmas quite like I do. Do you want to know why I cherish Christmas so much? You see, I was given a gift. Truly the greatest gift that one could ever receive. Although to some it might seem like a curse. Have you ever been to a cemetery on a cold, lonely night and looked at the two dates with a little line in between it? Well, I know it sounds terribly dark, but that was my gift. It was. You see, I was given a chance to stand on the other side of the final year of my life and look back at everything that my life had been. You see, that little dash that I was able to see is what is the most valuable. And I got to see how I absolutely missed everything that little dash was about.
Ebenezer is transported back in his mind to that ominous night when he encountered the spirit of Christmas yet to come. On that encounter, he was shown a man lying dead, but there was no one to mourn this man, only mock him and ridicule him for his great wealth and his inability to love. As the Spirit led him forward, Ebenezer tried to ask questions but got no response. Finally, he asked the Spirit, "Are the things that you have shown me the shadows of things that will be, or the shadow of the things that may be only?" Ebenezer is beginning to realize that his life needed to change, but had he missed that moment, the Spirit would not respond, only point him to a tombstone. As Ebenezer approached the tombstone, he cried out one more time, "I need to change. I am willing to change. Please, Spirit, have mercy upon me. Spare me. Allow me to change after all the things that I've seen tonight."
I truly had lost my way. On the outside, I may have looked like I had everything. I had wealth, I had power, I had control, but I did not heed the warning of Proverbs chapter 4. It says, guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. My heart had gotten clouded and filled with all the wrong things. I never intended for my life to go off track. In fact, like you, I was young once. I enjoyed life and surrounded myself with beautiful people. I had good motives and pure intentions, and I truly thought I could enjoy even the small moments.
Ebenezer loved the memories of working for the Fezziwig family. Every Christmas Eve, Mr. Fezziwig would come and tell him to put away the work, for he needed to do more than just work, but to celebrate the moments. As everyone cleared the area, he can remember Belle walking in. She was so beautiful and captivated him deeply. As they began to play music and dance, the room was filled with merriment and laughter. And Ebenezer was so filled with joy as he remembers the beauty of that moment.
But if I'm being honest, I never fully enjoyed those moments. I may have looked good on the outside, but my heart, as the good book says, people look and judge the outward appearance, but the Lord can see the heart. And my heart had gotten infected, and I didn't even know it. The infection started with something simple. I just wanted something more. As a result, I fixated on outcomes, and I had to control the outcome of everything. I was so desperately needed to be in control of every part of my life that I lost sight of beautiful moments. I could no longer just be in the present. I was so convinced that I could be in control that I began to fear anything that would cause me to lose that grip. I knew that if I had a grip on my life, then no one could control me.
Ebenezer and Belle were betrothed to be married, but Ebenezer's business kept pushing the marriage further and further away. On one Christmas Eve, Belle confronts Ebenezer and tells him that a new love has replaced her, that of gold and of profit. Ebenezer assures her that he still feels the same towards her. But when Belle asks if he would still pursue her today, knowing she was a dowerless girl with nothing to bring to the marriage but herself, his silence spoke volumes. Belle knew the truth, and she turns to Ebenezer and releases him. She tells him he is a free man, that he can go with a full heart, that he may live a happy life in the things that he has chosen to pursue. And with that, Belle leaves Ebenezer for good.
I almost went after her, but I just couldn't be in the moment because, well, I was so worried about what might happen in the future. I just couldn't be present, even with her. In fact, from that moment forward, I wasn't in any moment. I was either angry about mistakes that someone made in the past or fixated on mistakes that someone might make tomorrow. It wasn't until I stood at the end of my life and I looked backwards that I realized that I had forever missed the value of Christmas. You see, Christmas is about God giving us the most amazing gift, the ability to be present. You see, it was on Christmas that the Son of God came so that we could be free from the shame and the regret of our past. And because on Christmas, the Son of God came so we could be free from the fear of what might happen tomorrow. The Son of God came on Christmas so that we could be free to live in the moment. I'll tell you, the greatest present I ever received is the power of being present. Right? Jesus said the enemy comes to steal and kill and destroy. Well, what does he steal? He steals your joy. He kills your hope. And he destroys your ability to enjoy any moment. But Jesus came to give us abundant life. What a gift. What a present. Life is never abundant in the past, right? Those are just memories. And life can never be abundant in the future because that hasn't happened yet. In fact, Jesus' brother James put it this way. How do you know what your life will be like tomorrow? Your life is like the morning fog. It's here a little while and then it's gone. But I wanted to be control in every moment so badly. I couldn't even see what was right in front of me. I couldn't see those suffering. I couldn't see those rejoicing. I was so blind to everything that was right in front of me. I couldn't even see how clearly God was at work all around me. I was just missing all the best parts.
Bob and Tim come in from the cold as they return from the Christmas Eve service. The other children grab Tim and take him over to the fire to listen to the pudding as it hisses in the copper because it sounds like a snake being caught. As they take their brother to the other room, Bob and his wife begin to reflect on how Tim has become so thoughtful and sometimes says the strangest things. Bob tells her that he told him coming home that he hoped that the people in church saw him because he was a cripple, and that it might be pleasant for them to remember on Christmas Day who it was that made lame beggars walk and blind men see. They're captivated by how thoughtful and strong Tim seems to be, and yet they know that his illness is still a battle that they must face every day. But today, they will enjoy their time together as a family.
In Ecclesiastes chapter 5, it says, enjoying life is God's gift that he deals to you. He deals out joy in the present, in the now. You see, when God showed me how much I was missing, when I stood at the end of my life and was looking back at the tombstone, I realized my life was empty and hollow and miserable. And it was there that I finally woke up. I should have woken up so much sooner, for Jesus told my very story when he told about a man who had accumulated great wealth. And then he sat back and said to himself, why am I good? I have enough to put away for years. I can now take it easy. But then God said to that man, you fool, tonight you will die. Your very life will be forfeit. And who then will be able to take the things that you worked for? Jesus said, yes, a person is a fool to store up earthly wealth, but and not have a rich relationship with God. I asked God to forgive me that night, to give me a second chance, and I tell you, he did. He did. It was as if all the shame of my past was just washed away. I know I did those horrible things, but they no longer defined me. I was free. I was no longer afraid that someone might outdo me or take advantage of me. I now knew that my future was secure. I could die penniless and still have joy because I now had a rich relationship with God. I realized I was loved. Definitely undeserved. To believe you me, it was a gift. But when you know where your true wealth lies, you are free to find life in every moment. I found life in my nephew and his beautiful wife. I found life in being generous. I find life in talking to complete strangers. I even found life in my work again. And found life in a little boy that I had overlooked for so much time. I found more life in that family than I ever could have realized.
The day after Christmas, Mr. Cratchit comes to work late. He tries to sneak in, but he's confronted by Mr. Ebenezer, who tells him it's 18 and a half minutes past the hour and that he won't stand for conduct like this anymore. He invites Mr. Cratchit over to his desk, and he tells them the way that he is going to deal with this misbehavior is he is going to double Bob's salary. Taken aback, Bob Cratchit doesn't know what to say. Ebenezer gives a joyful laugh and tells him, Merry Christmas. I'm going to double your salary for a start, he says, and I will assist your family in every way. And I will make sure that Tim will walk again, that your son will go stronger if it depends upon my very life. He says we can discuss the particulars later, but right now, Mr. Cratchit, let's get to work. But first, go buy some more coal, because we need to heat this place up. Mr. Cratchit is overcome with joy, eager to get to work with this new Mr. Scrooge that he is encountering for the first time.
So now I wake up every morning and I pray, search me, O God. Know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. Point out anything in me that offends you and lead me along the path to everlasting life. Now every day I am present. I find life in every moment. I have kept my promise that night to honor Christmas in my heart and keep it every day of the year. You see, when you realize that Jesus came to earth so we can find him, it changes everything. I thank God every day. In the words of David, God, you show me the ways of life, granting me joy in your presence and the pleasure of living with you forever. I want to give you a present, if I may. Will you trust in Jesus so you can be truly present and live every day? I'm telling you, he is the best part. Don't get wrapped up in all the tasks or your work or worrying about what you missed or who might make a mistake or who might outdo you. All of that is worthless. Take it from an old man who was given the greatest gift ever. Trust Jesus so you can be fully present and have a rich relationship with God. To have an unending joy, amazing love. To behold him, to have a rich relationship with him. That is what I live for.